So that other video just ended abruptly because I got a phone call, and I'm not really intelligent enough to merge videos yet. So we're gonna call that the. It was getting long. That was uh, part one. This is part two. So I was dead beat, exhausted, emotionally just drained. I just been on the phone fighting to get it straightened out over my skid steer. So, because after dealing with that mechanic and everything he did, and then to have Kubota get involved and do their little stunt, it was just stressful. So, um, I've had the power board try to talk me into getting help from different various places that offer assistance to people who fall behind, and I've told them no because I feel like places with families with kids and things like that that are struggling should get that. I don't have kids that are staying with me. It's just me, and I'm not really looking for a handout financially. I just am looking for the money they're wanting me to pay into them right now to get my power turned on is actually a deposit, not a um, payment on my bill, because I think there's 150 that was still owed, but the majority of the bill was in the bankruptcy. It fell into the bankruptcy, which I didn't even know it was going to. It just did. So they turned around and charged me a $800 deposit. So yeah, I couldn't pay the $2,000 electric bill, but I can pay an $800 deposit. Yeah, I love it. Anyways, so I'm beat. I'm sitting in my truck. I'm hurt. So I ache at night. Like, I mean, my whole body aches. I almost lost my foot in '04. My foot got crushed, and so that made my everything hurt my whole body. But I gained 100 pounds after that accident, and so I'm just a fat old achy man. So that night, Friday night, I'm sitting there on the phone, and this lady, the girl, goes, she talks me into getting the help, calling. But it's Friday night. You can't call anywhere to get help to have your power turned on. And so I was like, all right. She gives me the numbers. I'll call tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So since I've been convinced to call, I said, well, maybe you guys. I said, since I'm gonna call, maybe you guys can turn the power on tonight, and then tomorrow I'll make the phone calls and work out, try and getting the deposit paid. I think they were gonna do 400 immediately, and then stretch the rest out through the power bill. So she goes, well, I can't do that. She says, well, let me get you over to my supervisor and see what we can do. So go to the supervisor. After talking, the employees in this power company were great. Like, they were helpful, doing everything they could. It was the policies they had to follow that was the problem. And after an hour of conversation and talking about everything, and all the issues that was dealing with, it all come back to absolutely no. They would not turn the power on, or their policy, or the thing that they were stuck with is no, power would not be turned on without the $400 deposit. And so that translated into my head that my life is not valued. Let me say this correctly. They did not value life, or they valued money more than they valued life, because we were getting into the 20s, and it was getting harder to stay warm. Now, you gotta remember, emotionally and physically, I was drained. I've been fighting to recover from the head injury since, the Easter Sunday. I've been fighting. I had to file the bankruptcy in the middle of this head injury. I've been fighting to survive in the middle of this head injury. I have had to go to work and work I have the equipment. As I'm recovering from this head injury, I've been driving probably when I shouldn't have been. Like, I mean, it has been a harrowing ride since Easter. I don't even remember half of it to be able to tell you about what it's been like, but it has been crazy. Like, I mean, there is like sketchy, like half memories of like spending night after night on the job that I got injured on, trying to finish it. I don't think there was time I went home, didn't go home for a week or something. I don't know. I don't remember because I really don't even remember the job. It's hard. Like, I mean, I got some pictures from it, but I was there for a year and a half on a 3-acre project, and now I don't really remember any of it. And they screwed me out of some money, and yeah, and I got injured on their job, and I didn't even get to turn it on their work comp, nothing, and my life has changed forever, and I get to fight my way out of it. But that's not what this is about. So, at that moment when she's after everything, when there might have been a chance that they would turn on, it hit, and when that hit, here's the deal. I'm not suicidal. Never have been. So, disclaimer as I'm saying this. But it made me, I felt what that woman felt before she took her life. And what I felt was, nobody cares about what I'm going through. Nobody cares about my pain. Nobody cares about my hurt. Nobody cares about how cold I am, what I'm going through. I've had very little help. You know, I can't get the power on. Nothing. You hear this, I'm freezing. I'm cold. You know, I can't take a hot shower. I can't, you know, do laundry. I can't this. And I've had to fight all week just to save the thing that I used to make a living with, because they're trying to take away my income source. And even the power company, I'm not even asking them to take money off my bill. I'm not asking them to take a loss on anything. I'm just asking them to turn the power on for one night early so that I could have power, and then I'll go get them their money the next day when the places are open and I talk to people. And they said, no. We refuse to give you the ability to have heat without our payment. And if I was someone that was suicidal with everything that I was going through, and I felt it, man, it hit me. Like, I had this rush go through me. I had this, I mean, I can't even explain what it felt like. And what it was is I felt hurt. Like, it was like I don't even know how, because it was like that, this emotion came over me, and I immediately hurt her. I thought of her, and it was one of those, this like, oh my God, this has got to be what she felt. This has got to be what she went through. And then, for me, what happens to me in these situations, which is why I am nowhere near suicidal, is I got angry. Then all of a sudden, this isn't about me anymore. Now I'm angry because I'm going, holy cow, I'm not the only one. Now it's about a statement. It's about, hey, I'm one guy. I'm a nobody in this whole country. My YouTube, I think I got 2 people viewing it, but I'm going to share the crap out of this, and I hope they all do too, and I hope this goes viral, because I'm one guy. I'm a nobody, but I realized that they really don't care about anybody, because it's only a front. Because on the back end, they will let you freeze. They'll let you kill yourself because you can't handle the people. How many of them out there, because I can't get food, They can't afford food. They can't afford rent. They can't afford their power. They can't afford any of that stuff. I'm in that boat. I'm behind on everything too. But fortunately for me, I can dig in and I'll get myself out. You know, I've got a business that when it is working, it does pretty good. And when I've got more sometimes than just me, I'm only one guy, can't run all of the equipment. But also, I'm a fighter. I will dig myself out of this. And I said, you know what? I said, if you can't turn my power on tonight so I can have heat, I will not go and ask for free money tomorrow to pay you your deposit. I will wait until I make the money myself, and then I'll pay it, because I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't understand. Not sure what my reason is behind that, but for me, it's a statement, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'll go without. Now, I got power because somebody, as I told them about the story, well, said, Kevin, you went long enough without power, and they decided to pay my deposit, and I begrudgingly took it, because if I didn't do it, they were going to call up the power board and do it themselves. And I'm happy to have the power. I'm not complaining. But I was ready to now make a stand without power, because it is now about a statement to also bring awareness for other people, when I realized that someone who felt they were at the end of everything, those words could have been the words that would have pushed someone to the point of wanting to take their own life. So that was Friday night. That had me really ticked off. So I mean, and then, you know, of course, I had the issues, you know, the dealership, and I think I told the girl about that. Then today hasn't gone so well. Kubota finally told the dealership that they weren't trying to repossess my machine, and then so I tried to go talk to the dealership about fixing my machine, and you know, they treated me like white trash because of how my machine got there, because they thought it was being repoed, and I was hoping they would treat me better than they did. And they were very unprofessional with me, and basically actually acted like I wouldn't even be a customer. And I'm now, they didn't even give me any respect. So I'm now almost to the point where I think tomorrow I'm just going to go down there and have them load the machine up on a trailer, and I'm going to go somewhere else. Because I've worked hard to get back up on my feet. And for some reason, there's just something in me that says that when people can't honor that respect, gotta go. So I don't know about that. That's tomorrow. That's another day. We'll see. Now back on to the country. These disrespectful people, and I'm gonna leave it on this, because you guys got 2 long vlogs that I'm doing here. We have done the most disrespectful thing that anyone can do to our veterans, to the deceased veterans, for the rest of this, for anyone that has fought for this country, that has fought for our freedoms, that has fought for this democracy of people having the choice. This election. We aren't free anymore, and it's a big disrespect for those that have fought to give us the right for fair and truthful elections, to have a government that is supposed to be true and fair to us. We're not having it. It's not happening. And there's some people are going to hate me for this, and I love it. But with this group going in, that is, I guess, going to have it this next 4 years, it's going to get worse. They thought Trump was the evil one, and all I can say is, well, the people that voted this one in chose to burn their cities to the ground. And so, if burning your own city to the ground to try to make a point is how you choose to deal with things, then and then you elect the guy into office that let you that you were supporting while you did this, that's scary. So the people that were burning cities to the ground was the ones that were electing this guy into office, and the type of people that are supporting this guy allowed their cities to get burnt to the ground. That should tell you everything you need to know about this style of stuff. And I don't think that's what our veterans went to go fight for. You know, all those people's businesses that were burnt to the ground, that's not the freedoms that we were over there, they went to go fight for. So, you know, there's a lot of things that is just really wrong with this year. I think this was, you know, remember back when the year turned 2000 and everybody said our computers were going to shut down and chaos was going to consume us and we were going to go into the dark ages. There's a bunch of you youngins that are out there burning things to the ground that won't remember that, but I think you were the offspring from that maybe. But you know, they were saying that, you know, everything was just gonna burn up because the computers couldn't handle the switch up in 2000, and you know, everyone stayed up till midnight to see what was gonna happen, and then we got down to it, and it switched to 2000, and everything worked. They got it wrong. It was 2020. So, they also got it wrong. It wasn't the computers, it was the people. Yeah, it was the people that were going to screw up. So, I am done. I am tired of this. I'm tired of seeing the depression and the suicides and the people that are losing it because they are forced to go through it. The lack of compassion in this country towards other people and the lack of I don't know what word I was going to use, but compassion for what people have gone through. And I'm done. I can't take it. And I think that we really need some change. And not the jingle jingle kind. Although that would help some of these places. But these small businesses really need some help. And I think that, if I remember correctly, Mike Rowe was doing something to try to help small businesses. And, shoot, what was his name? The guy did the video I was talking about in the other video. Brain injury. I'm tired. Yeah, my brain messes up when I'm tired. Anyways, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck was also pulling together resources to help small businesses. So, you know, if you happen to find yourself rich and you run across this video, man, just, you don't even have to donate to any of those people. Just go in and frequent your small businesses and help them out. And you know, help them survive. Because those are the people that have given up everything they've got. And they're trying to make it work. And so when that business goes under, they lost everything. And I believe that's probably what happened to this lady. And she lost it all and she couldn't take it. I'm going to do some more research into it because I'd like to know a little more about it. But I've been too busy with my own nightmare and, you know, just life frustrating things. And again, like I said earlier, I'm not suicidal. I'm far from it. When I get in moments that be suicidal for some people, it just makes me dig deeper and say, no, I'm going to get through this. Because, yeah, I just get pissed off. So, it doesn't affect me the same way it affects other people. That is why I still dig out of things, you know. I mean, I've been through quite a bit, and I'm still here kicking. So don't worry about, don't worry about me. I'm good. But, man, keep up with these other people. We can't be losing people like this. She left behind 2 kids. And that just, man, that hurts. That hurts. I think that sharing, people talk about sharing, and here's something that I want to say real quick. You know, everyone talks about sharing the suicide awareness lines and things like that. People who struggle like this and can find themselves at a point where they think they might want to commit suicide, they're not going to just call that line because they're not, something in them isn't going to let them. And that's one reason why a lot of times just posting the phone number doesn't work. What you got to do is you got to start looking for signs of someone that might be coming alienated into the point of that shows it could be, you know, depression or something that could lead towards a suicidal person. And then maybe reach out to them. And that person that might be that way, you go and bug the hell out of them so that they don't have an opportunity to put themselves in a position to do that. I've listened to a lot of people talk about their walk towards suicide that failed, and you know, the common thing that they talked about is if someone would have noticed, if someone would have reached out and said, "Hey, you know, hi, are you okay? Hey, something," you know. It was always about if someone would have said something. So it's more of a, I know the suicide awareness hotlines are great in that sometimes, and some people do take advantage of that. However, you know, it's also about looking out among your friends and family and your coworkers and people you just around every day, and looking for the signs that someone that might just fit the category of potentially having those problems. And you don't go ask them. Don't ever go ask them. Just go bug the hell out of them. And they will just, it'll just, you know, because a lot of times people that commit suicide, they do it because they're alone. And, or, you know, look for someone that might, if someone's like really bad off, like this woman, if someone had been bugging her and realized how bad off she was financially, you see someone that's really bad off financially like that, you go, hey, you could use some help, couldn't you? And if they, we're small business owners are proud. We don't like to admit we need help. And so it's hard to get us to admit that. And she may not admit that she needs help, or he may not admit that he needs help, but if you see that they need it and it looks pretty bad and looks like there could be issues, you kind of just push it on them. They may not like it, but it's better than them finding themselves with a position to think they gotta commit suicide. But anyways, I've run my mouth enough. I'm tired, and I think between the two videos I've gone on for about 40 minutes. But this is important stuff, and it pisses me off. It is bad. I had to wait to do this video, because if I'd done this video last week, it would not have been this calm, and it would have been worse, and there would have been a lot more details about who, what, where, and when. And so I was trying to keep it as just generic and mellow as possible, and so therefore I have had to wait. However, it just I'm not real happy. This whole pandemic thing, this whole shut-in thing, the whole money thing, all of it has made me so freaking angry. I've tried to keep it to myself. I try to stay away from people because I just, it irks me, and especially now because, like, when I get started, there is no filter and there is no stop. I just go, and yeah. And I try to stay positive because I try to keep myself positive. That's the other key about, when you're digging out stuff like that. Stick to positive, stay on the positive. It's just last week or so, it's all been kind of I'll be honest with you, I think the old devil's trying to work on me, and that's okay. We got it. We always, kick the dip, deal with the bad, kick it out, and move on. So another thing, and it's hard, but when you're upset, you don't ever get on social media and blast somebody or anyone directly. You calm down. If you want to talk about a situation because it is important to you, you calm down. Wait till you're calm before you do it. That way you can do it as a general statement, and you don't do it out of anger, and you're not doing it to blast any individual directly. It's a general statement, generic statement. It's local whatever or this whatever, versus naming direct names, because unless there is intentions to really burn things to the ground, that's better, and people can respect that a little bit better. So that is it. I am going to try to get some sleep, and how do we get the message out there that just social distancing, just the mask, which I think neither one are any good. If you're gonna cry that stuff, if you're gonna force that stuff, if your closed businesses down, if you're gonna do all of that, you gotta do more than a $600 check every now and then, and you gotta do more than claim you're gonna throw some money out there in PPEs, and you gotta do more on the back end, because you can't shut people. If you're gonna make people get out of work, if you're gonna shut businesses down, then you gotta stop payments on loans. You gotta stop the bill collectors from coming. You gotta stop the power board from coming. You gotta stop all of that stuff, and you gotta keep these people out of trouble if you're gonna force this stuff on them. And then here's the other thing: you can't just all of a sudden lift it at the end either, and then turn them loose on them at the end. You have to find out. You gotta do debt relief at the end too, because if the federal government is going to force this on people, force them into debt, force them into troubles, then they're going to have to give them a break. And when I'm talking about a break, they're going to have to cut their debt. They're not just stop it for a moment, not just give them $600, or there's a little bit of this or a little bit of that. They're costing them a bit in the business world, just hundreds, some thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and all around. And so there's the cost that's being cost is at different levels on different playing fields. But the point is that they can't just do the piddly stuff that they're doing, and cause this major, disastrous tidal wave. It's like what do they call those freaking things? Tsunamis or whatever. There's a movie. What was that movie? Good grief! 2012, where they had to go build the freaking boats up in the mountains, and everyone had to come up there and get on the boats, and then they were gonna ride the boats for the next. It's basically the movie of Noah in the 21st century. It's this in a financial crisis sense. The federal government has created a financial crisis through the coronavirus and said, oh, we've given you a tsunami, but what we're going to do is we're going to put you in a rowboat. We're going to give you a rowboat to get through it. Well, we all know what happens to rowboats in a big tidal wave. So, there's a boat that Caterpillar built. It's a fully engulfed boat, like a fully enclosed beast of a boat that if it gets rolled over, it automatically rolls right back up. Engine's good, everything's good. I mean, this boat's a beast, and if you're strapped into this seat, you can ride it out. That's what I want. I don't want a little rowboat. You force us into this, give me that boat. People forget that at the very beginning that you aren't going to stop the coronavirus. And the stupid thing has a 99.9% survival rate. The flu is deadlier than it. And so my little uneducated brain is struggling to understand, completely struggling to understand. I don't get it. However, more has to be done. I guess I'm just dumb. Because well, whatever. Maybe I need to go back to my little corner doing dirt, pushing dirt around and let the world burn. That's probably what's going to happen. And when it gets to me, hopefully I'll be in the middle of a dirt field and you can burn around me and I'll keep going. I don't know. I'm afraid that's not going to be how it works, but anyways, if the world does burn, I hope y'all survive. Till then, I'll try to keep telling y'all how it's going down here in the South. Pushing dirt around, sometimes mud. I would urge anyone that ever sees this to try to find someone to help if you have the ability. Because you never know when someone is at that point where even words would just push them over the edge for suicide, or words could push them over the edge of happiness. So always remember your words and how you approach and address someone and communicate are always going to be how that person walks away with their day and going forwards. So, with that in mind, I am done this time. I'm tired. Brain injury. We don't shut up. And so, have a good night. And God bless.